What's going on, team? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why it is absolutely essential for you to go all in on your goals if you want to succeed in life, in business, in health, anything that you're working towards right now. So I want to take it back to kind of my first transformation and the first time I actually went all in on my goals. It was when I was start of 2019. I had just come off the back of 9 months of traveling. I was partying every day, working as a travel agent in a place called Darwin. I was running boozy bingo on a Thursday night in a hostel. Super fun time. But I got to Sydney and I got on the scales and I was 19 stone, like 112 kilograms. And that was a moment for me where I was like, oh my God, I have to change. I'd reached that kind of threshold for me of enough subjective pain that I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to change. And I can't keep telling myself that I'm going to succeed on my own by doing what I've done. It hasn't worked for the last 10 years or whatever. So what I've done was I got my first coach. His name's Vitor, really cool guy. Friend of mine from school. He's a personal trainer, always been in shape, and was like the only kind of online coach that I knew. I'd never invested into a coach before. I'd never done anything like that, but I just knew that I had to figure out a way of going all in, and I knew that I couldn't do it alone. So what I've done, I invested into him, and he helped me figure out what flexible dieting was, held me accountable, and really made sure that I actually fully committed to my goals. And what happened was, over the next 18 months, I lost 23 kilograms. I was trying to see if I can get a photo up here, and completely changed my whole life. It was the first time I really went all in on something that was meaningful for me, and it installed such an amazing level of self-belief in myself because I'd overcome massive body confidence issues. I overcome huge amounts of kind of lack of self-belief and self-doubt. I've always tried things and kind of fallen off and yo-yo dieted and yo-yo got results. But this is the first time I actually sustained things. And the credit was because obviously I had a coach and a mentor, but the second thing was that I got to that point where I was like, enough is enough. I can't fucking do this anymore. I have to fucking make a change and make this happen. And that was my investment into that, was me saying to myself that my goals are worth it. I am worthy of my goals and I'm going to go all in and commit to that. So that was kind of the first thing. And that was a real transformation for me because off the back of that, that was when I started getting into personal development, started listening to people like Gary Vee and reading books around kind of online business and personal development. And it was off the back of that I actually started my first coaching business called That Geezer, and I was called That Diet Geezer, and I was helping people lose weight. But then fast forward 2.5 years, I was in a position again where I still wasn't where I wanted to be. I was in a place where I invested £25,000 at this point. I've been in Sydney, relocated back to the UK. I'd quit my job twice and had to go back into work. The first time was back into recruitment. The second time I actually went into construction to give myself kind of more flexibility and freedom to work on my business. But I wasn't all in again. I was half-arsing it. I was telling myself I was doing everything I could, but I wasn't. And I was faced with a decision of, do I invest into a new mentor again, or do I try and figure it out alone? And I knew intuitively that I had to change and something had to give, but I didn't have the money, right? I spoke to my old business mentor and he was like, right, it's £4,000 for 12 weeks. And I hope you get to 10K a month. And bearing in mind, I'd made like 2 or 3 grand the whole year. That was massive for me, but I knew that I had to do it. Something about this kind of person in front of me and kind of where I was at in my life that I had to fucking figure this out. And it didn't make sense to anyone in my life. No one in my life made sense. And they told me it was a bad idea. But I knew intuitively I had to do it. So I basically went to the bank, told them I was going to get a car, got a 4 grand loan out and paid this mentor £4,000 in full. And went all in. But from that point onwards, I'd done everything I possibly could to take action. Everything I was told to do, I'd done. I didn't have this mental real estate of, is this the right thing to do? I just went all in. And within kind of 8 weeks, I was in Bali. Within 12 weeks, I made my first 10K month. Right, so that's just kind of my kind of example on why it's so important for you to go all in on your goals. And right now, you might be kind of in a period of your life where you're working towards your goals, you're doing a certain thing, but you know you've got more to give. You know that kind of the reality that you have right now isn't reflecting where you feel like it could be, or you feel like it should be in some way based on a level of kind of commitment you've made. Totally normal. But then what I'd ask you is, are you really all in? Do you have like a plan B? Have you got like 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Are you making unconscious choices in other areas of your life, in your health, relationships, people around you, where you're spending your time, what you're consuming, what you're listening to, maybe the bad habits that you have, to say that, are you all in, right? Because it's binary yes or no. Like, you know when you're doing everything you can, you know when you've got room to improve. And I just want to leave you with that today, because every time I've burnt the boats and burnt the ships, something's happened. There's a magic that's happened in my life, and it's from that commitment going all in. So today, for this video, I'd love you to reflect and ask yourself the question, are you all in right now? Or is there steps or things that you can do to go even deeper into your goal, even more committed to the process that you want to go through? That might be getting a mentor. It might be working with me, it might be working with someone else. It might be recruiting someone else to hold you accountable if you can't afford that right now. It might be to say no to certain social events. It might be saying yes to certain environments, or yes to certain ideas or goals, or intuitive drives that you have that you've been not doing out of fear, and like pushing past that. Because the key characteristic trait that you need in this kind of journey of going all in is courage. You need to harness the courage that you have within you to say, do you know what, it might not make sense, but fuck it, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to trust myself, trust this voice inside of me, and say, I'm going all fucking in on my goals, because I know that I am worth my goals. I know that the reason I'm here is worth the struggle, it's worth the challenge, and I'm not going to let fear win, because you've only ever got 2 choices. You choose fear or you choose faith. And for you to go all in, it requires faith. It requires you to lean into the part of you that you don't have the answers to, that you don't have the confidence in, but trusting yourself and trusting you will find that through the pursuit of your goals. So I hope that helped, guys. I hope that kind of showed some insight on why going all in is the key to succeeding in whatever journey it is, whether it's building your business, working on your mindset, achieving a certain goal, working on your health, whatever it is, guys. Just go all in. Let me know in the comments if you found this useful. I'll see you on the next one.